Welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin, and today we're going to be reading into the energy, insights, and guidance coming in for your week ahead. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so welcome back to the channel to those of you who join me each week for each of these week ahead readings and some of my other readings. It's lovely to have you guys back here supporting me and enjoying my content and fun readings. And to those of you who are new to the channel and this is your first or couple of your first videos here with me, it's lovely to have you guys here. I do timeless readings, week ahead readings every single Monday, as well as fun timeless readings and other fun, creative, magical content. So if you're interested in any of that, feel free and please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you guys join this community. It's been so much fun seeing you guys interact with each other and in general for this community to grow. So thank you so much if you've decided to subscribe. I really truly appreciate it, and it's lovely to have you guys here supporting me and supporting this channel. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and look at each of your piles. Alright, so for the piles, I decided to go with another one of those jars with a specific crystal theme because it went really well last time and you guys really enjoyed it, and plus I love putting things in jars. So let's go ahead and look at each of your piles. So for pile 1, you have the option of the green Adventurine as well as these white clovers, these dried white clovers. So if this is resonating with you, then this might be the pile for you. So there you go. And then for pile 2 here, we have some clear quartz. It's not really a pointed clear quartz, but just a regular piece of clear quartz, as well as some campfire ash from a little campfire. So that's pile 2. And lastly here for pile 3, we have a piece of tumbled rose quartz, as well as some blue spruce needles from a tree just outside my window. So if you are interested in this, or if it's resonating with you, then this might be the pile for you. So as always, let's go ahead and take a deep breath together so you can make a better decision on which pile is resonating with you. Feel free to put your hand over each of the piles or your fingers over the screen to figure out which pile is sort of for you, depending on if it buzzes or if you feel a certain sensation. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a deep breath together. So if you already know which pile is for you, feel free to go down in the description below and choose your timestamp or use the chapters within the video so that you can go ahead and head on over to your pile in your group. But if you're still sort of deciding, like I said, you can feel out each of them. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You can do it based off visuals, based off intuition, whatever is working for you. And if you find that you go to that pile and it's not working out for you, feel free to check out one of the other piles to figure out which one is for you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You can watch all of them, a couple of them, just one of them, whatever works for you. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and get started with pile 1. Hello Group 1, if you've decided to choose this jar of white clovers as well as this green Adventurine, then this is the pile for you. Go ahead and set your 2 down here for you. Today we're going to be using the charms as we always do, as well as the watercolor affirmations. We're also going to be using the Sea Melodies deck, the Secret Garden Oracle, and the Everyday Witch Tarot. So let's go ahead and see what messages you have coming in for your week ahead. I hope you guys had a wonderful week last week and that the month is treating you well. So, okay, Group 1, we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for Group 1. Energy, insights, or guidance coming in for Group 1 here. Okay, so here we have the 7 of Cups. Alright, so Group 1, we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for Group 1 for group 1. What do we need to know about group 1's week ahead? The week ahead for group 1. Okay. Here you have the 10 of Cups. Oh, what a lovely card. It's one of my favorites in the deck. I'd hope it would focus here. There you go. The 10 of Cups. Let's see what else you have. So you already have quite a more emotionally based week. So let's get some more context. So more context on group 1's week ahead. Any energy, insights, or guidance for them for their week ahead. Week ahead, group 1 here. So here you have the Page of Wands. Okay, so I can see a little bit of those two sort of intermingling there, because the Page of Wands is kind of ready to go in a new direction, and the 7 of Cups has that indecisive feeling, so I feel like you might be going in a new direction this week. Let's get some more insight with the C Melodies deck here. Alright, so group 1's week ahead. Group 1's week ahead. So you've got 2 here. Let's see what they are. So first off, you have strength. Stay afloat and feel steady and calm. And direction. Trust your inner compass and find your bearings. I was literally just saying you guys might be going in a new direction this week. And the cards were like, yep, that's it. So let's see what else you have for your week ahead. So group 1, any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 1's week ahead. The week ahead for group 1, the week ahead for group 1. All right. You also have share. The busy bee should still make time for each flower. So that's lovely. It's always good to share, as my mom would say when growing up. So let's see what else you have here. Lastly, your watercolor affirmations. So group 1's week ahead, the week ahead for group 1. What do we need to know? All right. So you have here, mindset is key. So this is all about your inner narrative, the things that you're having within your head, like the thoughts that we are utilizing and the way that our mindset is. So that one is mindset is key. All right, so just looking around already, like I was talking about, you have that directional feeling. So let's talk about that first. So the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is sort of adventurous, right? Like you can see that they're ready to go on a new adventure. They're ready to take charge in something that they're inspired about. But what's interesting about the Page of Wands is it's like the very beginning of a new journey. It's not something that you've been working on for a long time. It's not something that you have a lot of experience in, possibly, because as you can see, the wand has this little knapsack on it. So you're like just starting on this new adventure. You have limited supplies, limited things to get you started, to kickstart you. But that doesn't mean that you are limited in the people that are going to help you out or how you're going to make this new direction. You know, you still have options, you have ways in which you can move yourself forward or take this inspiration, even though it's limited, even though you might not have all of the materials, have all of the means in which to do so. You're inspired enough to just go ahead and, take that path. Right? Because here you have direction. Trust your inner compass and find your bearings. So you know what direction you want to go. You know where you want to be headed. But it might just take a little while to have the means in which to do so. But I think this week is about you just trusting yourself and having the strength to know that you can do that. That this isn't going to be something that you're not able to accomplish. So this could just be something really small, like something that you've been trying to work towards, or you've really been excited and inspired and enthusiastic mostly to kind of dive into. Like, this could be a new hobby, this could be a business or travel adventure based theme here. There's not really any indication on exactly what you're wanting to head towards, but I'm sure if you got these cards, you're already going to know what that is because you trust yourself and you have the strength in which to go forth. I think you're already inspired and enthusiastic, so whatever that is for you, this is the week to take that and direct yourself to where you want to go. But even though you're enthusiastic, like I was saying, it's not really indicating exactly what it is that you're wanting to go forth on. And like I said, you probably are trusting yourself, but some of you might be feeling a little indecisive about this. You might just have a lot of directions in which you want to take. You have a lot that is being offered to you, possibly by your family, right? Because we have the 10 of Cups, which is all about lovely, happy family life. So this can be your actual family, this can be your chosen family, this can be a friend group or a community in which you feel really safe and supported by. And maybe they'll be helping you find your bearings this week and figure out where you want to go, because the 7 of Cups is indecision. You can't decide what you want. It's not that you don't have options. It's not that there aren't opportunities there. You're just not really sure which one to actually decide to go on, to have that directional theme to go on. And you also have share here. So I don't think you have to choose only one of these cups, because it does say the busy bee should make time for each flower. And I feel like these are like your flowers. These are all your little babies, your little inspired projects that you want to go on. And you can share your time with family. I see a lot of balancing, because like you have family life, you've got, where you want to go in with your inspiration and enthusiasm, and then you just have all these different ideas in which you want to do, which might even be related to family. These could be family projects or outings or travel based things, because the Page of Wands can also indicate travel and vacation and stuff. Be safe with everything going on. But basically, I just think that you're trying to figure out how to share your time and balance your time between each of these different cups, each of these different things in which you want to utilize your time with. So it's not that you aren't going to be able to get things done. It's not that you're not going to be able to go forth on these fun new journeys. But I think that there's going to need to be a bit of, that mindset that you can do it all in 1 week. But you have to find ways to balance, to time manage, to really think about it logically. How can I do this and this and this all together? But if you trust yourself and you have that strength there, I think you'll be fine. And also the 10 of Cups just showcases that, like I was saying, there's family elements here, but the 10 of Cups also represents being emotionally calm, being emotionally supported and welcomed, and just everything is rainbows in the sky, wonderful, happy times. And there's a lot of lovely communication in terms of emotion. So your feelings, you can pour them out very easily this week. They're not very hidden or lost. So I feel like this is the week to share those emotions, share your feelings, share where you want to go on this new direction, maybe even confide in with other people, especially in your friends or family group, those close-knit communities. To just talk about what it is you want to go forth and do. And like I was talking earlier, you may not have the means in which to do what you want to yet. Maybe you don't have that printer or that specific tool or something like that, and you could talk to other people and be like, hey, so you have that saw I need, or you have this thing that I need. Could I borrow that? Could you share it with me? Could we share resources and negotiate time in which to do these things that you're so excited to do? So you guys have a pretty cool week. I'm excited to see what you have for your charms. So let's go ahead and start on those. It's super positive. It's just there's not really big life lessons or anything crazy going on this week. It's just you might be a little bit more busy. But busy in a good way. I feel like it's busy in a productive, good way. All right, so here are the charms. Let's go ahead. So group one, week ahead. The week ahead messages for group 1, and energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 1, week ahead. The week ahead for group 1. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of the ones that fell upside down or off the board, since you have quite a few charms here. Sometimes people get like a huge amount, and like you guys sort of have here, and in other times it's a lot less. So yeah, there's sometimes you don't know how many you're going to be picking up. All right. So let's go ahead and move you guys in just a smidgen more so you can see a little bit better what's happening on the board here. There's nothing down here on the full moon that you're missing out on. So first off, here in your focus ring, you have the footing charm. I know it doesn't really look like a foot maybe on camera, but it kind of looks like a foot to me. So I always think of this as like finding your footing, or you're finding your footing, or you're putting down roots in something, especially with this new direction that you want to take, this new path that you're trying to take. You're kind of trying to set those roots, trying to set yourself on a new direction. And in doing so, you need that footing, you need that support. You have to start from the bottom to start working your way up. So you have to work in steps. And that mindset is going to be what's really important. You also have sort of a spiritual element here. So if you are a more spiritual person, because this is a general read for everyone here, this might not resonate for everyone, but for those of you who have sort of a spiritual guide in your life, or any spirit guides, or any deities or gods or goddesses or anything like that you work with in your spiritual life, this is sort of what that represents. And next to it, you have the letter X. So I don't know if that is something for one of you or some of you more specifically, but X could be really important to you, and X in general could be coming back into your life. So that's something to be just aware of. But I mean, if they are, it seems like you were friendly with them, because I don't see any indication of anything really bad happening in that way. But it also could just be you're getting the support from like the universe or some sort of deity or something like that. You have a spiritual element for your week. You also have here the tangled up charm, which represents just things that are, it's kind of like the busy charm. Like you just got a lot on your plate. It's all kind of like tangled up in each other. So again, that mindset is key. Having that time management is really important for you this week, because as much as we have all this inspiration, if we don't put it into a set schedule or some sort of way in which we can share our time with those that we love, it can get kind of chaotic. So that's sort of important to remember this week. You also might be a bit nostalgic this week, or thinking about the ways that you've reacted to something, or the ways in which you've reacted to new situations, possibly with this new direction that you're going on, or just the way that you speak or talk to other people. The way that you react to situations is really important, which I think has a lot to do, again, with that mindset is key. So react in an appropriate way, in a way that makes you feel really good. And honestly, I'm mostly getting nostalgia from this, which is kind of odd, because normally I get more of a communication-based message based off of the react, because you're reacting to something versus maybe responding to something. But in this case, I just feel like you're looking at history, your personal history. You're feeling nostalgic. You're looking back at the ways you've reacted to other situations, maybe the ways in which you've reacted to wanting to start this. Maybe this isn't the first time you've started this adventure. Maybe you've tried to go on this direction before and it maybe didn't work out. So your mindset is really important. Keeping a level head, keeping that root, that footing is really important, and getting that spiritual guidance or guidance from someone who you feel is very supportive to you. The other thing I wanted to talk about is we had that 7 of Cups, right? Like you had a lot on your mind on what you want. You had a lot of opportunities and you didn't know where, or you might not be knowing where you want to go with all of these different opportunities. And we have the Cups. This is the Ace of Cups usually, which represents really heightened positive emotion. And then you also have the inspiration or inspired charm here. But then next to it, you also have like different ways in which you could go about this. So if you're not really sure which direction to go on in terms of like where you're at, you know you're going to be setting off on a direction, but you're not really sure maybe where you want to go, it's kind of urging you to go towards something more musical or something with a lot of creative elements or creativity involved. So this could be dance, it could be art, it could be a mix of the two. It could be actually making music, something like that, playing an instrument. Something like that is something you might be wanting to or are inspired by this week, and that might be the direction in which you might want to be heading out on. So that's something to keep in mind. You also have here the throw caution to the wind charm, because this is a little caution hat, and when it falls this way, it means to be cautious, to think about your actions. But you might be feeling like you need to call, just like, whatever, just gonna throw my hat to the wind, it's fine. Throw caution to the wind, just follow your heart kind of feeling. And in doing so, that's good. It's good to have that inspiration and enthusiasm, but it's also important to, because you also have right next to it the little tiny shell, which is showcasing that you might get burnout or a little bit of like closed off feeling after the week. So that's just something to keep in mind, that you can throw caution to the wind, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be those like burnout consequences afterwards. So it's more of that, like, how do you react to a situation is up to you. Your mindset is up to you. You also have the tied up charm here, which is just like a little tie. So it means that you're feeling tangled up in something or feeling like very close-knit with something. And it's something that you're feeling a little insecure about, because this is a safety pin, but it's bent. So this makes me think of something that you're feeling a little insecure about. You're not really sure about it. It's not feeling as safe as it possibly could. So I feel like that has a lot to do with the indecision, that maybe you're not feeling safe about where you want to be going. You don't feel like you have the means or whatever. In terms of like the support. But I think if you share your feelings, share how you're feeling about the situation, maybe other people can give you a hand, give you some help. So utilize that resource. They're there for you. And then lastly here in that little clump, you have something to do with water. This is just basically a water charm. So, but next to it you have the black and white charm. This is the mixing of black and white. So it's just showcasing that sometimes we have to weigh the pros and cons to find that middle ground that is really helpful for us. So I guess you're again weighing those pros and cons this week. And then lastly here you have, actually there's two things still left, but lastly here you have right after the full moon, which by the time you watch this, the full moon has already passed. So it's already just like after full moon energy on the wane. You have the poppy charm, which I always kind of think of as the emperor. It makes me think of the emperor card, which is about masculine energy, and there's feminine and masculine and all in between within each of us. So the divine masculine or the masculine side of each of us comes in the form of that strength, in the form of stay afloat and feel steady and calm. And it also has a very logical sense to it. So I think that you're going to be, because it's after the full moon, I feel like this, as you're in the wane, that's when you're starting to, look over your, like you're going to be looking back at your history, like I was talking about, thinking about how maybe you've gone on this direction in the past, and maybe it didn't set forth or go forward in the way that you had wished, and now you're going to have the strength and the trust in yourself and the experience from that past experience to even move yourself forward. So definitely a lot to do with strength, feeling that I feel a lot of that masculine energy, honestly. But with that water and the mixing, I do see the emotional element needing to come in. So just as much as strength is important, like I was saying, there's so much balance. So balance between your masculine and your feminine, so that mixing there, balance between your friends, your family, and like the emotional side of your week, as well as the productive side of your week and that direction in which you want to take, and having that mindset from both your heart and your mind to bring forth some of this for you. And then lastly here you have Gemini. Right, so you have this Gemini here, which showcases a Gemini in your life, or you might be a Gemini, and this is you just sort of possibly talking to one of those that might be one of those types of people who are Gemini or exude that sort of energy of a Gemini, maybe even twins in your life that you might be confiding in over all of these different plans and directions in which you might be taking this week. And they're very intelligent, and they're also very social, so it's very important to talk to them to get some of that advice for you this week. So with all of that said, I'll just quickly do your recap here. So it's going to be a very creative week for you guys, something that you're going to be setting forth on a new direction with. You're finding your footing on it. There's a spiritual sense to your week, possibly related to an ex or a Gemini here. You might be feeling insecure about where you want to go, but you have the strength and you have the intuition and mindset to set forth on these goals. And when you do, just be sure to keep that balance. There's a lot of need for balancing this week, to share your time, share your inspiration, share your thoughts on this situation in a way that creates that balance for you. There's no specific card that states balance, but it's just like all of them keep giving me like the two directions of each. So I want you to know that balance is really important this week, balance between friends and family and where you want to go directionally. But you have the strength. Mindset is key, so time management really important this week. What direction you want to set forth on, trusting yourself, having that strength. And then you have share, which is really important, to share with your community where you're wanting to go on this new direction. Don't keep it to yourself. There's someone out there that's able to support you and move you forward on your path ahead. Especially, there's almost even little poppies here in that, which makes me think, again, more of that strength in numbers sort of feeling. So, you guys have a really cool, inspired week. It may be busy, but it's a good kind of busy. I feel like you guys can totally handle it. Just spread out your week in a really good way. Write down, journal, or plan it out. I think that's going to be really helpful for you. So if you enjoyed this reading, please let me know with a comment down below what you thought, what charms really stood out to you specifically, possibly with the Gemini or the X. And then also if any of the cards resonated with you or anything like that, the overall theme, I'd love to know down in the comments below. I love having that kind of conversation with you guys to know if this is resonating. If you also enjoyed this reading, please feel free to give this video a like. It really does help the channel and lets me know that you really enjoyed your reading here today. And lastly, if you are new to the channel and this was your first reading with me or one of your first readings with me, I do these week ahead readings every single Monday, as well as monthly readings, timeless readings, and also some fun, creative, and informative content. So if you are interested in any of that, please feel free to subscribe and join this community. I'd love to have you guys here and I'd love to read for you. So with all of that said, I will go ahead and let you enjoy your week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Hello Group 2, if you've decided to choose this piece of clear quartz as well as this little vial or jar of campfire ash, then this is the pile for you. Go ahead and set that down right there for you. Today we're going to be using the charms as well as the watercolor affirmations as always, and we're going to be using the Sea Melodies deck and the Secret Garden Oracle as well as the Everyday Witch Tarot. So I hope you guys had a wonderful week last week and that the month has been treating you well, and we'll go ahead and get started with your reading. Let's see what you have going on, Group 2. So Group 2, week ahead. Let's see what you have going on for the energy, insights, and guidance coming in for your week. All right, so you have the 10 of Pentacles here. What a lovely card, one of my favorites. Let's see what else. So Group 2, the energy, insights, and guidance coming in for Group 2's week ahead. What we've got going on for the energy, insights, and guidance coming in for Group 2. Okay, so first off, you have the 9 of Pentacles, so both the 10 and the 9. But you also have the 7 of Swords. So those are your tarot cards. Let's see what you have going on in some of your oracle cards with the C Melodies deck here. So group 2's week ahead. What energy, insights, or guidance do we have coming in for you? Okay, so here we have wild, believe in your otherworldly beauty, dance with the waves, and drink in the sunshine. And as you can see, there's this little crown here, a very like wild fairy tale-esque kind of feel. You also have a card here waiting for you, so let's see what else you have going on for your week group 2. Group 2, the week ahead for group 2. What energy, insights, or guidance do you have coming in for your week group 2? Okay, so you have adapt. You will get yourself where you want to be, but sometimes you have to adapt, right? So you've got these 2 little roses down here, in case that's important to any of you. And lastly, we will also pull you one of your affirmations for the week. So group 2's week ahead, the week ahead for group 2, the week ahead for group 2. And you have, you are manifesting. I always think of this as like a very sort of magical card because you're manifesting something. You're putting something out into the universe and manifesting it back. So super cool energy. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room here because you have like all this wonderful prosperity coming in. But then on top of that, you also have the 7 of Swords. And the 7 of Swords is sort of a tricky card. It's like the trickster of the cards. So this can mean that somebody is manipulating a situation. It can be actual stealing, especially with how much prosperity and wealth is here. So if you feel like you can't trust someone with your money or you can't trust someone around your material goods, this is probably a week to stray away from that person or tell that person that they don't need to be around your stuff, or just, check a little glance at those sorts of things, make sure everything is in place. But the other part of the 7 of Swords is that sometimes the situation may seem like it is going the wrong way, because as you can see, it almost looks like they're stealing or they're taking, or, it looks bad. But sometimes people can just get put in a situation where they're at the wrong time and the wrong place at the wrong time kind of situation. And that's what I think of with this card. So communication and making sure that you're communicating clearly and making sure that the people around you that you trust, make sure there's honesty there, because if you feel like you can't trust someone, then this might be the week to either stray away from those people or just figure out why it is you can't trust them, or figure out why it is that you have this gut initial feeling and this intuitive feeling that maybe something is a little off about a situation. So this is sort of just a little cautious card for you this week, because you might be feeling a little heads in the clouds with this wild, believe in your otherworldly beauty, dance with the waves, and drink in the sunshine. I feel like you just might be like traveling or off doing things, busy doing errands, enjoying life, enjoying, the harvesting and the lovely prosperity that's coming in, enjoying your time with your family. And because of that, you might just be blindsided by this. It might come out of nowhere. So it's important to just listen to your instincts, listen to that. If people are house sitting or doing something like that, just make sure everything's in order and things are doing good. I don't want to scare anyone. It's not really a scary thing, but it's just sort of make sure that the situation is one that you can trust. And it doesn't have to be material goods. This can just be in general. The way that people are communicating with you, just make sure that people are communicating in an honest way. Make sure no one's hiding or keeping little secrets or drama in your life. This is just a time to clear that away and adapt. So you will get yourself where you want to be. So again, if you feel like you're not feeling very prosperous right now, if you don't feel like money's coming in, you don't feel this feeling right now, with not only prosperity in your financial life and feeling really good and that decadence that you get from that, but also in maybe your family life, maybe it's feeling a little wild and chaotic, you're going to be adapting that. You're going to be changing that out this week, finding that balance that you need to, fixing and adapting that, evolving. So that's going to be good for you. You're going to have to manifest that, though. It's going to take work. It's going to take time in which to do that. But this energy is coming for you. This energy of prosperity and good times are coming for you. Good family times are coming for you, as well as just like business. But it's not just going to be like a stroke of luck. The Nine of Pentacles is something you had to work for. The Nine of Pentacles represents you had to plant those seeds. You had to wait for them to grow. You had to fertilize them and do all of that work. So if you're waiting for something to grow in a business sense, in a inspired sense, a hobby sense, something like that where you're working really hard on something, that might even be in a financial way that's going to bring you prosperity in your life, this is the time to manifest that forward. If you work with magic, it'd be great to do prosperity work right now for this week for you. But if not, then just you're going to be adapting for that. You're going to be adapting and making changes possibly so that this prosperity can come in. You're going to be tweaking things this week, finding that trust within yourself and within the people that are supporting you, so you can move forward this week in a prosperous way, in an abundant way as well. Because you also have, the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles isn't just like financial prosperity. It's also like, just like your family and your support and your friend groups and your emotions and like everything's feeling really good. Like the Ten of Pentacles is such a lovely card. It's like the Ten of Cups, but in the material sense. So instead of just your emotions, you're also just finding a lot of calm and serenity and security in the fact that things are going really well financially right now. And because of that, you're able to support your family. You're able to support those around you and support yourself. So that's really exciting, but it also can just be, family is a really big element for you this month or this week. So just sticking to them. And if there's, that one family member that's, like we've all got that one family member, right? So if you feel like that's who this is, you might just have to adapt, take that time away from them, stray away from that energy, that drama energy, and, just focus on your family, focus on those who actually support you and care about you and whom you can actually trust. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and get started looking at your charms, because I'm interested to know more information on where this prosperity is coming in, and just in general, some more information on your week. So let's go ahead and look at those. So the energy, insights, and guidance for group 2 for your week ahead. So the week ahead for group 2, the week ahead for group 2, looking for the week ahead for group 2, and the energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 2. Okay, so you have a very small amount here. I think I'm going to pull you a couple more because quite a few of them are upside down here. So let's get some more information for you, group 2. So group 2, week ahead for group 2. Okay, that's a little bit more information. Okay, so let's pick up what is upside down here and just sort of sort out your week, see what's going on. Okay, so you did have a few that fell off, so I'm going to go ahead and put those over there. So I'll go ahead and zoom you in so you can have a little bit better look at all of these charms for yourself and for your week. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and pull you a Chakra Love oracle card because you have here the crown chakra. So I want to know more on your crown chakra here. So I'm going to go ahead and just sort these out based off of the crown chakra, and I'll be right back to see what message you have. All right, so I have all the different crown chakra cards here. Let's go ahead and see what your main crown chakra message is for your week ahead. So what do we need to know about Group 2's crown chakra this week? Week ahead crown chakra message. Okay. Ooh. All right, I think it's this one, honestly. So here you have oneness. So the crown chakra, it says tourmalated quartz here. So that's sort of the vibe that you're going to need if you work with crystals. This is a great crystal to be working with for your week. And then also it has oneness. You are part of the universe and always will be. So there is a spiritual element to this week. There is a I always think of when I see this card, it makes me think of the Lion King and how we are all one. We're all one person. We all work and shift together. So it's more of a universal, global kind of feeling. So there is a oneness feeling here. I'm going to go ahead and move this back so we can see that. Which, I mean, we were already getting that oneness feeling just in terms of family, in terms of chosen family, or in terms of a really close supportive friend group. This can also be prosperous in that way, where you feel really lucky and good and very at peace and at one with those. And then in general, you had that sort of more purpley color with the you are manifesting. So there could be a spiritual element, like I was talking earlier, if you work with magic or anything like that. This is the time to do prosperity readings or trust readings, or not readings, sorry. I mean, you could do readings as well, but you could use magic or anything like that in terms of trust or in terms of prosperity this week, especially since you have the deity, god, goddess, spiritual, religious charms. This represents someone, if you are spiritual in any way. So some of you, this might not resonate, but for those of you who feel very spiritual or have a religious figure, this is them. Sort of speaking out to you this week or having your support this week and you feeling more connected to them. You also have here friendly. So you have Aquarius. So you might be an Aquarius or someone in your life might be an Aquarius. And so that's just talking about them specifically in your week and that they might be friendly to you, or there just might be a very friendly vibe for your week, you being friendly to others. But what's important is just because you're friendly, you can have that people can overpower you or take control of your niceness. So it's important to be friendly, but also still have those boundaries and make sure to listen to your gut about trusting other people and making sure they're not manipulating the situation, taking advantage of your friendly niceness, especially if you are the one who is an Aquarius. If you feel like you know who this is, if you are not an Aquarius, then it's just to be aware of helping out that person if they're going through a situation that involves sort of this theme. You also have the silver star here, and I always think of this silver star as you almost made it, or you're almost there. You're at the silver, you're not at the gold yet, you're on your way. So like I was talking earlier with the Nine of Pentacles, you might not be feeling this prosperity coming in, but you're on your way. It's coming to you. You are going to be able to harvest this, especially since August is the very first start of some of the harvest season. If you are an actual person who grows anything, the harvest is coming for you. Harvesting is on its way, so you can make some of that bank from it. But in general, it also can just mean that prosperous time, that harvesting time, you put in a lot of work and now you're going to get the reward for it. You've manifested that and that's on its way. So you just have to let that manifest and take its time in the way that it needs to. Oh, I just realized this one's upside down, so I'm going to pick that one up. So you might also be feeling like you want to make a move. This is forward movement because you have here the rook, and the rook in chess can move forward or backwards. You might be feeling like you're not really sure if you're moving forward or backwards in life. You might be feeling a little like this hasn't come in yet. Like, where is it? Is someone stealing this from me? Is this opportunity just not coming in? Have I not manifested it? But as you adapt, as you make those decisions, that's when, because you kind of feel maybe hung on a pendulum, that's what this is. So you have a pendulum right next to the forward or backward movement. So I just feel like you're sort of feeling a little like stuck in the middle right now, but like I said, it's coming for you. You just have to be patient and adapt and wait for that to come for you. Be flexible, because here is the flexible charm. It represents being flexible, but it also represents, since it's right next to the gold star or the inspired star, that this is your time to just be flexible, take that time, wait for it to come, because it will. If you're manifesting it, manifestation takes time. The universe has to hear you back. The oneness, the universe, it's on its way. It's trying to be friendly. It's trying to help you out. You just gotta wait it out. Be patient, But you do have the miscommunication charm, because this is in a language for me that I cannot read, so it feels foreign. It feels like you can't entirely understand it. There's sort of a misunderstanding or miscommunication possibly happening this week. So be careful with the way that you speak to other people, and be careful that other people aren't miscommunicating or misconstruing a situation. Make sure that if you really do trust someone and you feel like this is happening with someone that you trust, if you feel like they, this looks a little sneaky, it looks a little like what's happening, but sometimes it can just mean what if they were putting those swords back, right? They don't necessarily have to be stealing them. So it's just making sure that you really got all the facts on the situation before you jump to conclusions, and that a situation could, derail itself before you even got to speak on both sides of the story and really come up with what's going on here. So if you feel like that's resonating with you, then just be sure that you are communicating clearly, and the other party is communicating clearly as well, so that you can figure this out without any really big trouble. Especially since I was talking about finances, so I feel like there's someone that you trust with your finances, and it's time to clear the air, because this is the wishy-washy charm. You have a lot of wishy-washy, pendulum, backward, forward movement, where are you going sort of feeling. So again, you might be feeling a little unsteady or a little wishy-washy, a little wild with your time for the week. So it's just important to adapt, to fix that, and to adapt with your finances. Make sure that your vision on what prosperity is, that it's going to manifest in its own time. I know I've said that several times, so I'm not going to keep badgering you guys on it, but just be patient. It's coming. You just have a lot of that speaking on that same message. Clear the air, because this is also a washer. So it's just clearing the air, clearing that miscommunication, and clearing up your ideas on finances and where that's all going. So the last two charms you have here are on the moon cycles. So this is on the waxing side of the moon, and this is on the waning side of the moon. So the waning side is where we are right now. So the waning side talks for you on the cloudy weather charm, because I think of this as cloudy weather. Things aren't really maybe going so well, so be sure that you're not feeling under the weather with your health. But also it talks more about cloudy weather, things can get lost and miscommunicated. In cloudy weather, things can feel a little wishy-washy, but the clouds also bring the rain, and they bring the sunshine afterwards, and all of that. It can bring rain to the crops, all that kind of stuff for harvesting and for your prosperity. So honestly, I just feel like that's on its way, and it's just being patient, adapt, and let it come in its own time. Communicate with the universe, and it'll communicate back by manifesting, but it takes time. And lastly here, there is sort of a self-love charm. So this might be a week to just take a little time off, especially since you're feeling a little like everything's out of balance, or you feel like you're a little in between where you want to be. This is the time to just chill out this week, feel a little one with the universe, have a little spiritual moment, maybe go outside and enjoy nature, cleanse yourself in some way. Some sort of spiritual cleansing could be really helpful for you this week for your mind, body, and soul. So with all of that said, I'll go ahead and do a quick little recap here. Basically, there might be a situation that gets a little out of hand, or you might just be feeling like there's that one cousin or that one family member that's just sort of not really speaking as truthfully, but it's just being honest, making sure trust is there, and that you're not being manipulated for some sort of reason. Make sure this just needs to be cleared up in some way. But there is sort of a family element this week. There's also Oh, the Four of Pentacles decided to sneak in. I must have accidentally picked it up. I was like really confused for a moment. I was like, did I completely miss an entire message? But that's what happened. The Nine of Pentacles is the big one this week though. I feel like you guys just need to have that patience, take that time, let it come in when it needs to, because it's on its way. You're kind of at the Seven of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles is on its way. This prosperity in both family, home, and business life is on its way. Just let it manifest in its own time. Speak to the universe. It's there for you, and then adapt. And then there's that wild feeling. So again, letting that pendulum, letting that forward, backward movement clear up with that self-love. So with all of that said, I really do hope you enjoyed this reading with the charms and all of the different cards. Please let me know down in the comments below what you thought. Any of your feelings, thoughts towards the reading. I'd love to know. I really enjoy having those conversations with you guys, even if it's just like talking about one specific charm or just how your week really went, or even at the end of the week if you want to like come back and tell me how it went. I'd love to know. So yeah, if you enjoyed this reading though, please feel free to not only comment but also like. It really does help my channel and lets me know that you enjoyed this video and enjoyed these types of readings. And lastly, if you're new here and this is your first reading with me or one of your first readings with me, I do these weekly readings every single Monday, as well as timeless and monthly readings that you can go check out or see at my channel. But I'd love to have you guys join the community, so if you're interested in any of that, as well as my other magical, fun, informative, and creative content, please feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you guys join this community, and, it's a lot of fun here, so I'd love to have you guys here. With all that said, I will let you guys go ahead and have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Hello, Group 3! If you've decided to choose this jar of spruce needles, as well as this piece of rose quartz, then this is the pile for you. I'll go ahead and set your jar right on down here with your crystal. Today we're going to be using the charms as always, as well as the watercolor affirmations, these two oracle decks of the Sea Melodies and the Secret Garden, and today we're going to be using the Everyday Witch Tarot. So I hope you guys had a wonderful week last week and that the month has been treating you well. I hope you guys enjoyed this fun little theme with the different jars of fun herbs that I have. And yeah, let's go ahead and see what messages you have coming in for your week. Alright, so group three, what messages do you have coming in for your week? Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in? Alright, so first off, you have the King of Swords, very logical, intelligent leader here. Let's see what else you have coming in for your week. Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in? Any energy, insights, or guidance for Group 3's week ahead? The week ahead for Group 3. Alright, so what do we got coming in here? Group 3. The week ahead for Group 3. Okay. So you also have the Nine of Cups. Very confident. Let's see what your last card is here. Group 3's week ahead. The week ahead for Group 3. Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for Group 3. You also have here the Queen of Cups. So there is a Queen and a King present here, which is really fun and interesting to see. There's also like a little seascape sort of happening with the imagery, which I always think is interesting when tarot cards not only speak on their own, but when you can kind of see like almost an island forming here around the King of Swords, which is kind of really interesting to me, especially around these two cup cards and the swords. But I'll speak more on that in a moment. Let's go ahead and see some more information on your week, Group 3. Alright, so what's your Sea Melodies message for your week, Group 3? We're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for your week for Group 3. The week ahead for Group 3. Any energy? There we go. Alright, so you have Dream. Follow your yearning for the deep blue sea. And then, I mean, I know this is a island-based or, already very tropically based deck. But you do have that little ship here, and then you have the island sort of feeling and very emotional feeling. So that's really interesting in the imagery. There's definitely a message there. Let's look here at your secret garden message. So what do we need to know about the week ahead for group 3? The week ahead for group 3. What do we need to know for the week ahead for group 3 here? The week ahead. All right, I'm feeling both of these. I couldn't figure out which one it is, but I knew one of them was. So here you have self-care, tend to your garden, the little watering can here, and then rest, slow down. You don't have to solve everything today, with a little hummingbird and a little flower. So that's already really lovely. We got a little rest going on, a little self-care time. And dream really ties into that as well, like some rest through dreaming, maybe even daydreams. So let's see what else you have for your last message here before the charms later. Group 3's watercolor affirmation for group 3's week ahead. Any messages for group 3? So here you have comparison is toxic. So sometimes we can compare ourselves or put these really high expectations on ourselves based off of looking at other people, and it really is toxic. It's not something that's actually helpful or productive in any way, especially if you can be supporting versus comparing. And I'm pretty sure you already know that, right? I feel like this isn't new information to you, but it's something that maybe you've keep finding yourself having a habit inside your mindset is like, I know I shouldn't be comparing myself. I know I shouldn't be doing these things, but I still find myself comparing myself to others around me, especially others that are very adept at the same field as me. So there's definitely that comparison there. But let's talk about what I was talking about earlier with this queen, this king, and the 9 of Cups, all kind of creating this island, right? It literally looks like this island sort of just keeps going. And at the heart of it, you have the King of Swords, which is all about your mindset. It's about being a leader. It's also, he's a very logical, knowledgeable person. So if you're looking to research something or looking to gain knowledge in something this week, he is like your man, right? So this could be yourself, or this could be someone else in your life who you feel like you need to speak to, or you might even be comparing yourself to. You might be trying to hold yourself to their same standard. And it's important to just learn in your own time. Like this King of Swords was the rascal little child of the Knight of Swords at some point, if you're familiar with tarot. So the knights aren't always the best, and they had to learn and go through life lessons in order to gain this knowledge, in order to gain this wisdom that this King of Swords has. So if you have a father figure in your life, a grandfather, or even someone who has just a lot of knowledge and well-rounded mindset and communication, then this could just be someone that you're maybe comparing yourself too harshly to this week, and it's making you feel isolated based off of this island. I feel like you might be feeling isolated, or feel like you have to give and give and give to other people in order to, I almost feel like you're trying to prove that you are as good as this King of Swords, right? I feel like you're trying to prove a point, because the 9 of Cups is all about being very emotionally fulfilled, and it also talks about being very confident. So I feel like you've just been very confident, or you're trying to show off that confidence. You're trying to almost fake it till you make it kind of feeling. I feel like that's sort of coming in. But there is that danger there. That comparison is toxic, right? Like, so just because you're feeling this wave of like, yes, I got this, I'm doing amazing. It's important to know that you just need that time for yourself, that rest for yourself. You don't have to go. This is going to come in time. It can't happen in all in 1 week. This knowledge that this King of Swords has. And then with the Queen of Cups, you might have a motherly figure in your life, Or if you are a mother, then this might be the side of the coin that you are feeling. Because the Queen of Cups just talks about giving and giving and giving and giving to everyone else. You know, you're giving all of your emotional energy to everyone else, but you're not really saving any for your own. And this is the week for self-care for you. You know, this is the week to rest, to dream, to have your own dreams manifest, your own time manifest, and it be your own. So there's no need to be putting yourself on this island. There's no need to be isolating yourself from others. You can still give to other people, but it's important to have that balance of rest and self-care. Because even though we build these castles and I mean, there's even that castle vibe here, right? Like they're in a castle, they've got all of the books and the knowledge, and then you're trying to build that castle. You're trying to build that confidence I'm not saying that you can't be trying to build this, that you're not trying to build, you know, this knowledge that the King of Swords has, or having that feeling to try to live up to that. But it's just being important to still be your own person, because at the end of the day, even though we feel emotionally stable by this, the water is going to come in, and we have to continue to adapt, because the tide will come, you know, it's going to continue to change, and they're going to have to continue to change. So if you feel like you're comparing yourself or trying to look up to this fatherly or masculine, knowledgeable and wise figure, you don't need to, you know, take that time for yourself. But you also have, you know, your own dreams, your own things that you're wanting to do. And if you're trying to follow someone else's footsteps, you're not going to be able to go on your own path and create your own footsteps that are going to possibly lead you to something even bigger and better and brighter for you. So, you know, follow your dreams this week, and try not to follow someone else's or follow in the footsteps, especially if they're pressuring you too, because of that giving feeling. If they're pressuring you to try to live up to them, or they're comparing themselves to you, you know, just go for your own dreams, set sail on your own dreams, because you can't stay in this isolated island. It's time to set sail. It's time to take that boat ride, you know, and even if it's scary, it's good for you, but you don't have to do it this week. You can just think about it this week, because rest is really important. Slow down. You don't have to solve everything today. So you may be feeling like you need to, or there might be that anxiety there, but you don't have to. With the dream and the rest, dreams are dreams until we manifest them forward. So you don't have to do it right now. It's kind of urging you to just think about it. Think about the ideas that you could possibly have in the future, but it's not something you have to set sail on today, but you are eventually going to be able to go on that path. But to do so, you have to have that rest. You have to have that time for yourself, especially since you've been giving and giving and giving and giving, like this Queen of Cups has been doing, and you've been doing. It's time to rest, time to give yourself that time that you need, that self-care that you need. Take a bath, possibly, since you have such emotional energy here. This might be really good to take a bath, to go out in the rain, cleanse yourself in some way, listen to some music, get outside. Whatever self-care is for you, that's super, super important, because if we don't take care of ourselves, how are we supposed to take care of anyone else? So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to your charms, group 3, because I'm really interested to know more on your story. I think it's so interesting, the imagery here. I'd love to know in the comments if you feel like this island reference, castle reference, resonates with you. But let's see some more information. All right, so let's see. Group 3. Group 3's week ahead. The week ahead for Group 3. Let's see what you have going on. Group 3, the week ahead for Group 3. Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for Group 3's week ahead. The week ahead for Group 3. The week ahead for Group 3. Okay, so you have quite a few on the board here in your center. So let's just sort of sort this out a little bit. I'll pick up what needs to be picked up based off of both my intuition and also just in general. I tend to read things that fall right side up versus upside down. So I'm going to just take out the ones that don't necessarily resonate here for you. Let's see what this one is. You have so much in your center. I haven't had one with this many in the center for quite a while. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in here. I'm going to try to get through all of these without talking and rambling for too long. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, I just think, again, more of that comparison is toxic situation is happening here, because you have a bunch of people. There's a lot of people involved. So it might not just be the King of Swords that's making you feel this way, but it could just be other people, because there's sort of an emotional sense here. And I always think of, because I have a logic charm in terms of the puzzle piece, but in this case you have, I think I always thought of these little peg bits that stick out as little people. So I feel like there's a bunch of people sort of pushing you into a little corner, into a little space, making you feel smaller, less confident in your ideas and your own dreams because of this comparison. So it could be a cultural comparison, based off of cultural biases or based off of just in general cultural pressures. But then underneath this, you had your dreams, your light bulb moment, your enthusiasm for life and for the things that you are dreaming and excited about. But it's been underneath here. It's been hidden by other people. You've been hiding yourself from going on that path, that new journey, because those people have been putting you in that corner of you've been putting yourself in that corner. So it's time to, take that little spike here, because this is a spike which represents just spiking through something. So spike through those cultural boundaries, pass through those people who are trying to hold you back. Find that clarity, that silver lining, that you can have come in this week on being more clear and concise with yourself. Because this is the pearl, the clarity, the purity. Get back to your basics. And more of that get back to the basics I'm getting because here you have the safety pen, which represents security, feeling safe and secure in not only your finances, but also just in your emotions, that confidence that comes in. And you got it on the new moon, which is all about a new start, a fresh start. So it's time to cleanse that mind space. Self-care is, like I was saying, I feel like you need self-care in a water-based way, by getting out in the rain, enjoying a nice book, something that's self-care but based off of the water element could be really helpful for you this week to get that rest, and bring back in that security and secure element. So then you also have here more on that finances, and those finances come from that light bulb moment, right? So you might be feeling held down by finances this week, because you can't really, follow your dreams. But this is the time to, silver linings are going to come from you getting rid of that comparison, which I'm not saying is easy. It doesn't happen overnight, and that's why self-care is so important, because self-care, some people think of it as like this fluffy thing, but self-care can also mean shadow work. It can mean getting into the deep, gritty parts of ourselves and really looking at those and creating better and bolder strokes for ourselves, to be in better alignment with our higher selves. So I think that rest and your dreams and like maybe putting those to rest for a moment just so that you can sort of cleanse and renew yourself to get that momentum again is really important. And I think maybe something you could do this week outside of just all this comparison talk is you do have a musical element, a dance element happening this week, because you got not only the music charm, but you also have here the little dancer, the ballerina dancer, which is poise and elegance, but it's also just dancing for funsies too. So right next to that, you have the love or romantic charm. So someone might be, taking you out to a club or to go dancing, or you might just be dancing with someone whom you love this week. It can be platonic as well, but there is the love charm here, so there might be a date or something like that happening this week for you. But it also can just be, like I was talking about with love, of your dreams. And so maybe one of your dreams has something to do with music or has something to do with that element of creativity and dance. which I think is interesting because the first group also got something very similar to that message. So if you feel like this isn't entirely resonating, then maybe group 1 was a better choice for you. But other than that, I mean, it's just interesting when people's weeks are sort of aligning. So here at the first quarter moon, you have the poppy charm, because they're little poppy flowers here, but you have it at the first quarter moon, which is about action. So I feel like after this cleansing happens, after the cleansing of the new moon and that getting that secure feeling in yourself, especially since this is also a safety pin, right? So you're getting secure in your finances, you're feeling more secure in your ideas and your dreams and your bolder strokes and your higher self. After you've cleansed some of that comparison out of you, that toxic feeling, you're basically giving yourself like one of those like juice cleanses or whatever, but like in a more emotional way. I feel like by doing that, you're going to be able to set sail, because here is the emperor. I think of the poppy as the emperor. So you're going to be able to set sail in those plans, and other people are going to follow your lead. So that's really exciting. There is more information on the comparison, because here we have habits and patterns. That's what this charm is all about, patterns and habits in our lives. And you're seeking harmony. You're trying to find more harmony and balance in those, because the 6 represents harmony and balance. But you're feeling jealous. This is the jealous heart. It represents feeling jealous, or that jealousy feeling, that envious feeling. And that's coming from that comparison. So again, just follow your own lead, follow your own heart, and just sort of time to cleanse some of that away. We don't need any of that in our 6 of harmony. We don't need any of that. You also have here the wise owl, and like I was talking, the King of Swords is sort of a wise owl. They're very wise and very knowledgeable, and possibly what you're comparing yourself to. But you have the flexibility charm here as well, which represents just being flexible, realizing that you don't have to be perfect. Perfection is not really achievable, and this person is not perfect either. I'll just tell you right now. So, taking some of that comparison away is really important for you this week. But you also have, in terms of self-care, like I was talking, a water element thing. Bubbles could be really helpful if any of you guys play with. That's a more specific thing, but just in general, bubbles, because this is the bubble charm. But it makes me think of nostalgia. It makes me think of springtime. It makes me think of renewal and getting outside. Because I used to play with bubbles near the springtime and all that kind of stuff, and it makes me think of nostalgia and happy, good feelings and times, and that self-care, just enjoy the moment kind of feeling, because who plays with bubbles for anything but fun? So this is about fun and self-care and taking that time for yourself this week, and just getting out of your head a little bit. And lastly, here you have the heart key. So someone might have, again, there's another romantic element. So there was that date night romantic feeling, or that romantic element, or platonic, more supportive element having to do with music, or maybe they're sending you a playlist. Maybe there's something like that happening this week. That'd be kind of interesting to know. But you have the key to your heart here, and the key to your heart is sort of with someone who is a Libra. So you might have a Libra in your life, you might be a Libra, so this can be more of that self-care element too, if it's specifically about you being a Libra. But someone has the key to your heart, and this could also mean just having the key to yourself and your own heart. But what's also interesting is this person is very charming, because Libras are very charming, very sociable, but they also bring that balance. So they could be really helpful in helping you get out of your head a little bit and takes that time not only for yourself, but also to connect with another person. Wow, I feel winded. There was a lot to say there. I know I spoke a lot about comparison, because that was like, I pulled that and immediately felt like that was a message that I needed to bring home for you. But let's go ahead and do your recap here. So self-care, rest, dreams, super important. Resting time for you, taking time for yourself, not giving to everyone else, taking that time just for you, and getting off this island, setting sail. That's coming for you. You just have to wait a little bit longer and cleanse yourself a little bit. Let those waves come in and wash over you. Cleanse you with some sort of water element this week could be really helpful. And comparison, it's a mental game. It's a hard thing to sometimes get out of our heads. But that comparison to this wise masculine, got it all figured out figure. They don't have it all figured out. They are not perfect. If you put them on a pedestal, then you'll feel that way. But it's time to cleanse that energy. It's time to let some of that go, to feel a little less of being pushed into a corner, and let your dreams come forward, especially if they're related to cultural norms. There's also a bit of a romantic element this week with a Libra, possibly, or with yourself for self-care as well. And a dance element, and fixing some of those habits. So that exciting setting sail feeling towards your dreams is on its way, but you just have to wait it out a little bit longer and cleanse yourself first with that self-care and rest. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading and that it was helpful for you. I'd love to know if the imagery struck you in any way, or if you enjoyed some of these different charms, or if you feel like you've been comparing yourself to someone. Feel free to let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to have a conversation with you guys down there. I love seeing what you guys have to say and how the charms resonated, and anything else you want to speak about on your week. And if you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed these types of weekly readings, please be sure to give this video a like and let me know. It lets me know that not only you liked this video and this reading, but it also does help the channel quite a lot. So I appreciate it so very much. And lastly, after my battery just died, I just want to say thank you to those who have joined us who are new here. If you enjoy these types of readings, I also do timeless and monthly readings, as well as these weekly, week ahead readings every single Monday, and some fun, spiritual, magical, creative content here and there too. So if you're interested in any of that, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you guys join this community, and yeah, it'd be super fun. So with all of that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!